So I guess there's two ways to look at it. On the one hand, when you look at the contest itself between Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, it does appear from the membership polling that we have available that Liz Truss is in something of an unassailable lead. But of course, with politics, we should always be careful about any degree of certainty. I've learned that from bitter experience over the years. But I think on the cost of living, I mean, it won't be a surprise to your viewers that that is the number one issue on voters' minds. Concern about rising prices and inflation is at a 40-year high. And I think whoever wins, what the public are looking for is some decisive action to get a grip of that crisis. Now, I suppose what we don't know is what the long-term implications of the new policies might be. Let's say it is Liz Truss. People might welcome that immediate help in tax cuts. But if it does make the situation worse, like Rishi Sunak claims, then, of course, that will be a very short-lived honeymoon.
You see, it's interesting, though, isn't it? Because that ties into what our viewers and listeners are saying. Sue said Rishi's appealing to the people who can afford the cost of living. Liz reaching out to those who need the help. I guess that's because he's taking a longer-term view rather than looking at immediate help. Robert says we need Liz Truss because she's being bold with her policies. Well, that ties in with your polling, doesn't it?
It does. And again, I can only stress it depends if it works, right? Because I think that one of the things that we find when we ask people what do they want in a Prime Minister, post-Boris Johnson, they want honesty. And I think we don't want to relitigate some of those discussions, but that is something that's on people's minds, alongside someone that's in touch with ordinary people and good in a crisis and capable. And to focus on some of those latter points, just to reiterate what I was saying, being in touch is about addressing the public concern there is about the cost of living and dealing with it quickly. But, of course, being good at a crisis and being a capable leader is about actually delivering. So, I mean, really this comes down to, yes, in the short term, what help can be out there for people as we face a really difficult winter, but the long term, does it actually work? And I think the final thing I would say as well is don't forget public services in all of this as well, because people are, of course, most concerned of all about the cost of living, but they're also very concerned about the NHS and schools and public services too. And so the new Prime Minister has to deliver on both of those counts. It's one thing to put money in people's pockets. We've also got to make sure that the winter crisis in the NHS, or a crisis that's already here, let's be honest, is dealt with.